often we have that mentality about fitness and wellness. We go, oh, it's my body. I know what to do. No, you don't. You probably don't know what to do. And it's okay to ask for help. And I think that's another thing in our society. You got to be okay to ask for help. It's not weakness. It's actually very vulnerable and courageous to ask for help.
Welcome to the My Future Business Show, where we get you in front of your best audience and keep you there. Not only are we interviewing the biggest names in business to help you become even more successful, we're inviting you to book your spot on the show to help you grow your business. So at the end of the call, make sure you fill in the interview application form at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. Hi and welcome back to the My Future Business Show. As you know, my name is Rick Nusky. I'm your host, and I'd just like to say thank you for joining us. I'm on the line with Darian Parker. How are you, Darian?
I'm doing great, Rick. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastically well. I like to say I have 2 feet and a heartbeat. I was looking at your website. I was looking at your website just a fraction ago, and what I noticed is a video on there. It was just, it was compelling. You know, the one where you're sitting by the waterside. And,
Yes.
and you're talking about, you know, people, you know, being the essence of your business, which we're going to be talking about.
Yes.
Where were you when you shot that video?
You know, I shot the video here in Washington State in a town called Blaine, which is where I live, and it's literally right on the border between the U.S. and Canada. So it's basically from where the video was shot, you could see Canada from there. So we're about a mile or so. So it's really amazing. Summertime, it's like 70 degrees every day, sunshine, beautiful, no rain. It's like the perfect weather every day. So it was a good spot to talk about people and nature and life and the importance of connecting with each other.
You know, and I think that was a really good, I guess, segue to come into the show today, because we're going to be talking about your business, Epic Leisure Management, which you've started up. And but before we do any of that, Darian, I'd love to share with our audience a little bit about yourself. Would you mind sharing a little bit about where you are and a little bit about, I guess, your life?
Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate it. Well, I grew up in a military family.
Mm-hmm.
My father was in the military in the Army for 28 years, and we grew up all around the planet. And I think that gave me a really good perspective on life and seeing how other people live. And I just really enjoyed that, and it broadened my horizons. And throughout that time, I was an athlete and primarily a track and field athlete.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran track in high school, and then I got a scholarship to run track at James Madison University in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And through the course of that time, I was always just fascinated about exercise and fitness and how the body works, you know, both acutely and chronically. And I just continued that after my running career and went into the fitness industry as a personal trainer. I've been a trainer for over 18 years. And through the course of that time, I worked in the educational, university systems, vocational systems, and then transitioned into working into a luxury fitness environment for a company called WTS International,
Mm-hmm.
which I worked for them for well over a decade and became a fitness executive. And it was a wonderful, wonderful job and a great opportunity. And I learned so much, but I felt it was time for that to move on from that. And so I ended up deciding I want to start my own company. And I started with a really great friend of mine, my business partner, Alan Jacobauskas. And we decided that we wanted to start something that was a smaller, more boutique consulting and management company for spa, fitness, and recreation professionals and clients, developers. So we came up with Epic Leisure Management because we love having a good time. We love doing big things, and we love people. People is our focus, caring about people, loving them, making sure they feel wanted, needed, secured in their profession and also personally. And that's really, and we wanted the video to really make sure that it screamed that, and our website was about that as well.
You know, it's a really, I guess, a hand-in-glove relationship with the My Future Business audience, because, you know, we're about helpful people, helping people, and, you know, it's about giving them the opportunities to step up their game and do something that's going to be useful for the world, both professionally and privately. I'd love to know, if we could circle back on it, Darian, after 10 years working as a professional executive at such a high level, you obviously had ideas that, you know, evolved the industry. What are some of the nuances that you're bringing through Epic Leisure Management?
Yeah, great question, Rick. One of the biggest things, well, there's two things primarily. One, we wanted to be truly innovative. In fitness and wellness, there's a lot of similarities. So
Yep.
you can go to any conventions and trade shows. There's a lot of, let's say, spin bikes, and maybe the wheel is on the front or the wheel is on the back, or it goes side to side, but it's still a spin bike.
Yeah.
And we wanted to really come up with something innovative. And, technology, just like we're doing now, speaking to each other from different parts of the world, is
Hmm.
one of the things as a trainer, continuing to be a trainer, even while having this business, is I wanted to do something and make use of the technology. So I started up a live online or real-time personal training service where I train my clients through Zoom or Skype, FaceTime, WhatsApp, and it feels very intimate. And that technology where you're able to train anybody literally at any part of the world, whether it's a beach, whether it's a park, whether it's their house, anything like that, we want to bring that technology to the forefront of your like amenities, residential amenities, hotel amenities, things of that nature. And there are companies doing that through like your Peloton and even techno gyms jumping into it with more of your classes, but they're not doing it on a one-on-one, like basically staring down the barrel between one person to another in a very intimate back and forth context in real time. And so that's something that I've been doing for a while, and that's something we want to certainly bring to more of your private club industry market for that.
We're knocking down some barriers, aren't we? There's no such thing as a
Yes.
global barriers anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's, growing up in a time where you couldn't meet anybody unless you traveled to where they were.
Hmm.
It's amazing to be in this time now where you can have a conversation with somebody in Australia, or I just had a great conversation with somebody in Germany yesterday, and in Malaysia. And, I love talking to people from all over the world. So I think this technology it just opens the opportunities for people to get fit, be well, and have a service provider that doesn't have to be in your town. And especially in towns where there may not be a lot of service providers, this provides a great option for it.
This is, very much a valid opportunity for those who want that personal training approach and they know about you. If you think about the medical profession, we're seeing people doing operations remotely. So again,
Right.
that validity is absolutely there, especially if such a critical industry like the medical practitioners are using it.
Yes. And even one of my connections as a sports psychologist, she's doing, some of her sessions on Skype or WhatsApp,
Yep.
having the face-to-face with that. So I think it's valid for a lot of professions, and for training. Some people may say, well, it's not like being in person. I've trained people in person for 17 years and mixed it in with doing live online sessions. And then now I only do, not that I'm opposed to doing in person, but all of my clientele is online in a live format now. And they love it. They absolutely love it. It feels like the real thing. In many ways, it's even more intimate and personal than when
Yeah.
you're in person with
Because
someone.
you're going inside their homes essentially, aren't you, in many respects?
Yes. Yes. And just like this, we have headphones on. I'm using Apple AirPods, and the sound is so rich, and you can have somebody going through an exercise progression. You can hear everything. It's very primal with
It
that.
is.
It's amazing. I love it.
I'd love to touch on this element of your business where you talk about your services, including concepts and designs,
Yes.
feasibility. That seems to be more like a construction of a business. Could you share a little bit about what that all means?
Yes, for sure. And I think there's a little bit of mystery to that sometimes when people look at it. We are not a construction company, or we're not a builder,
Mm,
but we do work with developers. So what happens generally is we like to get in very early when, let's say, a hotel developer or a master residential plan community is deciding to develop a health and wellness product. Could be a fitness facility, a spa, recreation center. And we help during those phases with actually designing that facility with them, and the layouts for that.
Because
Yeah.
to me, I mean, as a former construction guy, if you like,
Right.
I worked in senior management, and I often would work with project managers, and you would see that in some of the projects we were involved with, like you would see retrofitting of hospitals to have
Yeah. Yeah.
gyms and things added to them. So you're coming in really at the early design phases so that your systems are integrated with their whole business.
Yes. Yes. So we're saying like, hey, because often what happens is the developers or the owners, they, fitness and wellness is often not their main priority. It is, let's say it's within a hotel, they know they need to have a space for that, or it's in a residential community. They're
Hmm.
concerned about building homes, selling plots of land, and they go, lifestyle is big. We need to have a multi-purpose facility for, spa, fitness, wellness, the whole thing. So we will say, hey, here's the square footage for the treatment rooms. Here's how large the fitness floor should be, the group exercise room. You should have offices for it. Here's how it should flow as it's functioning on a daily basis. So we can do that design with them. And then the consulting element is essentially leading up to, the comparative analysis. What are your competitors doing that are also having similar facilities, same size, similar offerings? What are the price points for the services? And then from that, we can continue to do consulting with their team on a monthly basis on, are they on the right track? Are they offering the right programs, promotions, the staffing, recruitment? And then our final thing is some facilities don't want to do any of that stuff. They would rather have us just run their facility for them. And then we're hiring the director of the facility. There are employees, all the support staff. So we do everything from the concept to actually running the facility.
Yeah, I'd just love to go back if we could, Darren. You talked about this using technology to come into people's
Mm-hmm.
homes and do one-on-one training, and having that presence there. How long does something like that go for? Is it, and what's the process you take somebody through when they first connect with you?
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a very different way of doing it. Often once people want to work with me, we have a virtual intake. And so we often do like a Skype session where we'll sit down and wherever they are in the world. And again, I let them know, please be wherever you want to be.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to be in your kitchen or you have to be, in a conference room. Like if you want to be on the beach, you want to be on the mountains, wherever you feel centered,
Yeah.
that's where we'll be. And the same thing for when we start training. As long as there's a strong internet connection,
Yeah.
we can literally be anywhere and I will adjust to whatever environment you're in. And so we go through our whole intake, understanding what, their exercise history is, any medical indications, contraindications, things of that nature. And then we just set our schedule for what works for them, something that's recurring each week. And again, the only thing that really is wildly different is I tell them, please show up wherever you like. So often when I turn on Skype or Zoom or WhatsApp, I have no clue where they're going to be. It's wherever they
Yes.
want to be
It's a bit of a
and whatever's comfortable.
bit of a
It's a mystery.
mystery box for you.
Yeah, so it makes me have to be really on my toes on a regular basis. And the other difference is most of my clients are never in a gym setting. So there's no natural noise of a gym or other people talking and stuff. We're literally connected one-on-one for that half an hour, that person and myself. And you have to be almost an entertainer in the same way because you're holding
Yes.
somebody's attention for that time.
I can see how this would be very attractive for a certain demographic of people. Do you have
Right.
a particular type of client that you work with the most? Who do you attract?
I tend to attract two primary populations. One is moms who are at home with young children
Hmm.
and they have a hard time getting to a gym and
Yep.
there's an hour and a half time to get out and come back around. And so I'm saving them time and money. They don't have to have a
Oh,
babysitter anymore. They can be at their house as they want, go to a park, let their kid play in the playground while they're doing their training session with me. It's become a huge market for me. The other one is your business traveler, the person who travels a lot. They're never home, but they're all over the world. And I
hmm.
said, now you can take me with you. You don't have to worry about whether somebody's there or not for you, I'll be there for you.
I've been in the online space since day one, and it's amazing to see the evolution of how people are starting to think of
Right.
alternate methods and ways and techniques to use to connect with their audience. And again, that video is so powerful for me. This focus on
Thank you.
people dancing and having a good time.
Yeah.
That really, and you mentioned in the video that people are not having a good time nowadays.
Yes. That's a big thing for us. I mean, my business partner and I, we always dedicate 1 or 2 days a week to just have fun, go to the beach. We live right next to the beach.
Yep.
Where we're located, and, soak up the sun, talk about ideas, life, and just be happy. Yeah. That's not happening enough. I see people running that race, to make as much money as possible, work as much as possible. And that's not our lives. Of course, we're hard workers. We want to work, but we also want to enjoy our life at the same time. And that's the message we want to get out there to people. Have fun. Get back to knowing yourself.
Yeah, and this is really, really relevant to how your mode of delivery, because you're taking away, it no longer exists, that element of travel stress, does it?
Yes. No longer the travel stress with my online thing. And I think that's really difficult when persons traveling left and right. And I've done my share of traveling in life. And it's hard because you say to yourself, well, I'm so tired. I can't do this. I can't make time to take care of myself because I'm traveling all the time. I try to take those obstacles out of the way for people so that it's an easier decision, more of a no-brainer decision for them. Like that.
When somebody visits your website, which I'll talk about in a minute, what is the actual steps you take them from the moment they get on your website? How long does it take for them to join up with you and start working with you? Is there a wait list?
Well, the website is just for Epic Leisure Management and our concept and management business. That is primary. So if somebody wants to work with us with that, it's really more of it's a come and learn about us type of website. So, you go on the site, it's, you see a picture of people, in a camping or out by a fire. We love fire. That's kind of a big thing for us is, a community around fire near a beach or mountains. And then, they look through our team members and see Alan and myself and our board of advisors and all these special people who they've done so much professionally, but they're better human beings than they are professionals. And that's really important for us. And then beyond that is that they can contact us on the website, send us an email. And another big thing for us is so much of what I see in the business space is we're so connected with the internet and social media and stuff, but we're more disconnected. It's very difficult, it seems, for people to get back to people in a timely manner these days. And so we want people to test that and send us an email, call us. We will get back to you pretty immediately. We want to be known for being punctual and making your email is important to us. Your phone call is important to us. It will not go a full day without being answered. So we want to make sure that we're on top of things.
I'm listening to you, and you're clearly intelligent. You've clearly gathered a lot of knowledge over time, and you're now implementing what you've learned. How difficult has it been for you to, along with your co-owner of the company, what was his name? Sorry.
His name's Alan.
Alan, how difficult was it for both of you to, put this together from a business management perspective?
I think we have a unique perspective in that we are a startup company, but we have a combined 40 years of experience doing the business that we started up. Yeah. So we have a very good understanding of what needs to be done. It was just getting the logistics, all the stuff in the back of the house stuff, the administrative stuff together, which wasn't that tough for us to do. And now we're in the phase of where really the real work comes in, with clients, getting leads for clients who may be looking for the services that we offer with, concept design, feasibility, pre-opening or management. And even clients who don't think they need it, but talking to them and letting them understand, like, you may be running a hotel. That doesn't mean you know how to run a fitness facility.
Yes,
and
different.
It's important. Those are different things. And I don't change the oil in my car. I don't know how to do that. That's why I have somebody else do it for me, because I don't know how to do that. And I think often we have that mentality about fitness and wellness. We go, oh, it's my body. I know what to do. No, you don't. You probably don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And it's okay to ask for help. And I think that's another thing in our society. You got to be okay to ask for help. It's not weakness. It's actually very vulnerable and courageous to ask for help, and that I can't do this. I need your help. So I think that's a big part of what we try to do with people, is not say, oh, you need to work with us, but like, let us help you become more successful. Let us take the weight off of you in this area. Focus on the thing that you have the most experience in and that you're putting most of your eggs on,
Yeah.
in your basket. So that's what we focus on.
I'd love to, if we could, talk a little bit about, I guess, this problem that we have globally, or not necessarily everywhere, but a large number of places globally with regard to diet and obesity and overweight and lifestyle. How is it that you talk with clients about those sorts of topics?
Good question. I think it's such a pervasive issue, and I try to be sensitive about it, because it's not just an easy thing for somebody to overcome. And we're inundated with so much information more than ever, and then now through Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and all these social media channels, this information is being poured out tremendously to people, and often not by people who actually are in the business. They're enthusiasts. But enthusiasts create a big swell of connection and commitment to people. So often people, get swayed by somebody's information about dieting and obesity by someone who's actually not certified to talk to you about it for that. So I think I try to approach it with people is, hey, listen, I want to meet you where you are. And as a company, we want to meet you where we are in our consulting and management business. As a trainer, I want to be completely fine with where that person is, and then we'll just build from that. Nothing is built overnight. It's a very slow process in working with somebody, and it's really a social, emotional, and spiritual issue for a lot of people. You're overcoming so much more than the obesity and the weight is masking a lot of personal pain with people, and working through that helps to get to the outside. So I like to focus on what makes the person who they are, accepting them for who they are, loving them for who they are, and then watching them change on the inside and watching that manifest itself through our exercise program and good healthy tips on diet, well, a more food approach, and watch that person change as a person.
It's an amazing situation that you've created for yourself. It's an amazing opportunity for people to, I guess the best word is, to transform their lives and do it very easily. I'd love to make sure that everybody knows on the call today that they understand there's two parts to this organization. There's this personal trainer side, and then this more corporate side.
Yes.
So thank you very much for sharing everything you have today. Where can people go if they want to work with you?
Well, if they want to work with me personally for personal training, the easiest way is most of my information that I like to present for myself is on LinkedIn.
Right.
And so it's very easy to find me on there. I'm there literally every day. I love networking with people. I'm just meeting people inside and outside of the industry, not for the purpose of getting business for me personally. It's more of just, I like helping my colleagues. I love giving back by helping my colleagues meet other people. But if they just, go to my LinkedIn page and, just type in my name, Darian Parker, I will come up on there. And they can send me a message and chat with me, or they can directly connect with me through my email, darianparker@gmail.com, and I will get that. And as I said before, I will respond right away, and I will take the inquiry very serious and make sure that I am treating their time seriously for that. Those are the two best ways, because those are the two things that I check the most in my life. So I don't like it to be necessarily like this place or that place or go to this site completely. It's more like, well, what do I check the most? Where will I respond to you easiest? And those are two ways to do that.
That's fantastic. So for everybody who is on the call with us today, I'll be putting the links and email information back to Darian. Darian, it's been an absolute treat spending a little bit of time with you on the My Future Business show today.
Thank you so much, Rick. I really appreciate your kindness, your generosity, and for having me on the show. It's been a real pleasure.
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the call, then make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, share us with your friends, and book your spot on the show at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. And if you're looking for solutions that will help grow your business, then visit myfuturebusiness.com/shop.